Hi guys, welcome back, and today we're still going through the quick start steps. We've got 3 subjects that we're going to go through. So we're going to download and describe, all the who active naming and settings, and we're also going to going to show you how to monitoring your tags, as well as how you can monitor your ladder Logix. All right, stay with me because we're going to do this together. Hello, I'm Roberto Cruz and welcome back to RTF, aka Read the Freaking Manual. Alright guys, we're just moving down along to the quick start steps on Studio 5000 Logix Designer. And in today's video we're going to we're continuing on the same subject, right? So we've already done a couple of videos on this. So make sure you can always access these from the card that I'm gonna just leave here somewhere in this video, right? So you can with a link to the playlist for the Studio 5000 Logix Designer. So we've done like creating your project, how the last one, the previous video, it was about entering ladder Logix. It was a very nice one, really. So we can enter in, I show you guys 3 ways of entering ladder Logix to your Studio 5000 Logix Designer. So very simple logic, just to you guys get your head around this. All right, so in today's video, we've already showed you guys initially, especially on when we've done our emulate playlist, right? Studio 5000 Logix emulate. So we went through on how to download. I think we've done that multiple times. But in today's video, I'm going to show you guys some of the naming and settings on the who active window, so you guys can get a bit more information on that. All right, and we're also going to go through the controller tags live, so we can show you how you can monitor your tags using the controller tags. All right, so let's just switch screens, and then we can begin our subject of this video, as we can start by downloading. So as you guys might recall, on our previous video we obviously entered this rank here, right, where we've got like a simple start and stop for a motor, and I have just added as another rank, very simple one. Basically what it does is it's just acting, it's just a timer, right? A timer on, which is just basically counting to 10 seconds and will stop the motor. This is it, just acting as a timer to stop the motor after 10 seconds. As you guys may see here, the time base on controller, Logix controller works with milliseconds. So if you wanted to set your timer to seconds, you have to type them in milliseconds, basically adding 3 zeros in front of it. All right, so 10,000 obviously equals to 10,000 milliseconds equals to 10 seconds. This is how you set, right? It's very accurate. So what happens here, as soon as you push start button, your motor is gonna turn on, and you can either stop by pressing the stop push button, or as soon as the DN beat, which stands for done beat. We're going to go through the timer instructions in the future, but this is the done beat. As soon as the done beat is active, it's going to drop the motor off, all right? Simple as that. So first thing first, we're going to be downloading this code, right? So how we do? So over here in this, main tab, we select communications, and we then select who active. So this is our famous who active. So this basically links to Factory Talk links, or RS links, whichever revision you're using. It might be RS links. All right. Okay, so let's just go through some bits and pieces here so you guys can understand. So the communication tree. So basically, it works. It's a hierarchical representation of a network topology that is rooted at a specific host device. So this is the communication tree. So that's why. So if we expand, right, our backplane, you've got a hierarchical sequence, like you've got all the slots, so you've got slot 2, slot 3, and so on and so forth. And if you expand that further, if there are any more instances, like if it was an Ethernet connection for you, so you would be able to see all the modules and everything else that sits underneath that hierarchical structure. All right, communications tree. And who active, so on the who active window, so the who active is a communication software edition network browser. So Use the Hue Active dialog box to navigate network topologies and configure access methods used to communicate with devices. Both the RS Links Classic and FactoryTalk Links communication software editions are included with Studio 5000 Logix Designer. Select an edition to launch in the Hue Active dialog box by navigating to Communications. Select Communication Software dialog box, selecting RS Links Classics or FactoryTalk View, FactoryTalk Links, right? So you can do these by going over here and select communication, right? Obviously, because the project is open, I won't be able to change that. I'm not going to change that, but just for you to be able to configure. I think this is actually a new feature on Studio 5000 Logix Designer, because FactoryTalk Links is a fairly new addition to Studio 5000 Logix Designer. Excuse me. So this is the Hue Active. So communication path. So you see that as soon as I open Hue Active, it goes right into my emulate my controller, right? So you see, so it's sitting on the FactoryTalk Links desk on my desktop. My backplane is lot number 3, is where my Logix emulate is sitting. So it remembers that. But you can always set the communication path. So the communication path basically is the zip path that identifies the communications drive. So the device address and port. It's used by the Studio Logix Designer when executing a go online, upload, or download commands. So you can always set your path down here as well, and it will remember the path, all right? So you see that I just set my project path. So now we're going to download, right? So how you do that? We push the download button right here because we select our process. It's gonna obviously, the path is already being set. We push download, and it's just wait for the software, for the window pop-up to come up. Here we go. So this is our window pop-up. So there are a couple of things here which is very useful, right? So it tells you the connected controller. So what is in it? So name. So this is what is being. So basically, if you have a program that it differs to it, it's unlike the one. It's actually different to the one that you're downloading to. So it helps you out with a couple of information. It tells you the name, you see type. So it's an emulate controller. What's the path? Serial number. So it goes various things, right? So it's useful. So, and obviously, when you are dealing with real life machine, you have to be cautious of not being able. You have to be cautious because you can actually download the wrong software and it might end up causing a damage to your controller. So that's why it's very important to read this a couple of times, especially when you are downloading new software. Download is a critical thing, especially on a real life, in a real machine, a real process. You might screw things up really bad, all right, big time. So things like danger, unexpected hazardous motion of machinery may occur. So make sure you always download the right software, right? The controller is in remote run mode, so you have to have your controller switched to remote, otherwise you won't be able to download it. All right, so disclaimer done. So you obviously read all those the information because they are useful. Push download. And the download starts up, and then it's compiling. You now just need to wait it out until the downloading is finished, and it gives you a couple of statuses of the download up here, right? Routines and all the rest of it. It's taking a little while because I'm downloading to my obviously on my emulate. On my virtual machine, so it's not as quick as you would be doing on a physical controller. But sometimes even on a physical controller, you might have a big program, right? A large program, which might take its time. So you see, so now the message comes up: done downloading, change controller mode back to remote run. Do you want to do that? Yes. So it's always self-explanatory, guys. If you make sure you read those information, because it's always useful, because you're dealing with multi-million machines sometimes, and you don't want to screw things up. So make sure you read all the feedback, all the status that the software gives you, right, back when you're doing stuff. All right, so here we go. So we now see, check this out here. So run mode, controller okay. So this battery file is one of the annoys people, right? When you're working with emulate, you can actually reset that if you want. So if you go, just out of interest, if you go how controller properties, right? Minor faults, you see the battery file comes in, you can always clear that, right? I think it's gonna come back. It always does. At the moment it's just clear, see? And here we go. I see it came back. So don't bother. We're not worried about that. So alright, so this is how we download software. So how we go through the Who Active window. Okay, let me just scroll down here to the help file. So we're gonna go for monitor tags, right? Let's just so how do we monitor tags? So in order for us to be able to monitor, let's just right click in one of them tags, and you see that I think this is a bit difficult for you guys to be able to see. Let's just go and click. So if you right click on the tag itself, it brings up these useful pop-up, right? So you can select monitor that tag, and it brings you right into your controller tags. In this case, I've created this timer within the main program scope, so that's why you see only the timers, instances. All right. So if we go back there to the main program, the motor. So if you want to check the start button, right, you can just monitor and push monitor, and here we go. So you see, so the stop button is energized. Consider it's actually examining if de-energized in this case, which it is, right? Because it's a normally close button. It's a bit confused to get your head around this, but it's a true state. It's in a true state. So if we look at that, so we're actually monitoring ladder logic. So this is how you monitor ladder logic. If your instruction is obviously hang on a minute, let me just bring here the so if your instruction, if your rungs in your instruction is glow green like this, right? It means that it's true. It's actually letting the routine, the scan, obviously going through. But obviously it's a cascade, it's a knock-on effect. So you need all them conditions to be able to drive your output. So let's just do a quick exercise. So check this out. So you can either have your start PB push button or your motor true to be able to continue. So what happens here for this? This is a latch. It's very common when you are if you recall back in the days when we used relay logic. This is how you configure, how you start up a motor, right? So you have a start button, which then with a normally closed button, right? And then as soon as your contactor is on, your contact would have an auxiliary contact, which you would latched up, and then obviously your momentary push button would be released, but your motor would still be on because your auxiliary contact would take over, right? This is very common for, if you're an electrician, I'm sure you would know that, right? So let's just monitor this, how we do. So basically, because this is a physical input, what we do, let me just bring out here the, I'll show you guys in a sec. So what we do, we select our input card, push properties IO data here. So let's just push the start button and it's going to deactivate that. Here we go, our motor is on, right? So we're monitoring ladder logic. So what's happening here now is, you see, the motor is on and our time is counting. Let me just, because this is not a momentary button. Here we go. It's still counting because obviously now I've dropped the input off. As soon as the timer is done, you see the motor is now dropped, right? Let me just go back to the monitoring. So we're gonna monitoring the timer now, you see? So this is our instances, right? So preset is set to 10 seconds. ACC stands for accumulator. So as soon as you hit start and the time starts up, begins counting, you're gonna see the ACC counting. So EN means enable. TT is actually, it's the timing between the enable and done, right? So those are Boolean signals, and those are digital double integers, right? 32 bits. Let's just do this and monitor through here, so you guys be able to see that running. So I'm gonna quickly start, right? Let me just minimize this. See, so ACC is counting, enable is on, TT is also on. As soon as it hits 10, those two are gone, right? Oh, but we need to obviously, sorry guys, we need to, this is not a momentary pause button. Let's just do this. Okay, boom. So, and then time's done. And obviously done is momentarily on and off because you need the motor on to be able to continue monitoring the done bit. All right, so this is how I monitor. So let's just, again, monitor. Oh, I've just minimized the software, sorry guys. Go back to controller tags. I wanted to show you how you monitor your inputs, right? From the monitor, from the controller tags. You see we've got edit tags, edit tab, and monitor tab, right? So we are just monitoring those tags. Right, so if I want to monitor this stop button is set to this, right? You see, so now is on, now is off, right? And the same, as soon as I hit start, motor comes up because our logic is activated, right? So if I remove the start, our timer is now counting, and as soon as the timer is up, it's going to drop the motor off. You see, boom, motor is now off. So a couple of things here. So I'm going to show you guys. Obviously, when you are on the monitor tags, there are a couple of things. So you can, if it's a physical output, you can always force an input and output as well. So this is style, data type, and some other things we've already covered that on when we made the video about entering new tags. And I reckon this is it regarding downloading and monitoring those tags. So that's all for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, right? So we showed you guys how you can download some of the characteristics and settings on the whoactive window, how you can monitoring tags and your ladder logic. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. I'd like to thank all you for the new subscribers, guys. Thanks for following us. Follow us on Instagram to make sure you are all notified about our latest videos, right? If you do like the content, please do consider subscribing to this channel. Likes are much appreciated. And like I always say, always RTFM. Stay tuned for future videos, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.